My father always wanted to make me dying master. Then let's negotiate on that buffer part. शेर आया शेर आया शेर आया तो शेर जब आ जाएगा तब कुछ नहीं होगा ऑर्डर करो 10 मिनट में आ जाता है
Tushar Mistry can make pulkas. Podcast का heading होगा. Hey design family, welcome to KYAD, Know Your Architect/Designer. This is Zaid Khan, your podcast buddy on a mission to spill some tea on the cool minds of people who are crafting our favorite spaces. KYAD is where we kick back, grab a coffee and chat with architects and designers. Why? Because let's face it, getting a correct architect and designer for your dream project could be a bit more like dating. You want the chemistry, right? So if you're an aspiring designer, a budding architect, or just someone who's daydreaming about a Pinterest-worthy home, KYAD gives you a backstage pass to the design world, where we have real talks and lot of laughter. Hit the subscribe button and join the KYAD group, and let's navigate to the design world together, because choosing a right architect or designer should be as easy as choosing your favorite playlist.
Luxe Services presents KYAD, Know Your Architect/Designer.
My name is Zaid Khan. I've been in the industry for last, I think, almost 10 years now. I hail from a background of construction. My father was a contractor, so I'm a little connected to this industry. I've done a little bit of interior designing as well when I was in my college.
So I always chose to be on that side of the table.
But yes, this is not work for me. This is passion for me. I'm not into sales. I'm into more of market education. That's what I believe is my philosophy in terms of being in this industry. I want to be connected to as many interior designers and architects as what my feel is, and then stay between creative minds, because I'm not a creative person. So I try to.
We are a very good sales guy.
Thank you, sir. So that's
Not every creative person is a good salesperson, but a salesperson can be creatively creative in his sales team, sales pitches.
Thank you.
That's a good one, yeah.
For you,
इसका मेरे को चाहिए. My name is Sharan Raikhangar. I started off this journey of being into interiors by joining Fiandre. I was there for around a couple of years. Then I moved on to my own project. I was handling my own hotel 5-star project in Goa. That's where I learned more insights about how the architects think about as a whole project, how the architectural is, how the landscapes are, how the interior is, what an architect goes through. I had a walk with him through the whole project, and that's where I got to know more about interiors, like वो रेती खरीदने से लेके आपका वो end chandelier तक, या एक decorative element like we had a piano, how you go through the whole journey. That's where I walked through one of a big architect, and that's how I got connected to this design industry. And I got an opportunity back that, okay, let's do something big. Now I've become a partner with Luxe Surfaces. We kicked off Luxe Surfaces. So far, so good. And now we are happy to be sitting with big guys like Tushar sir.
Big guys.
And very
Well, I
good
was quite
sales
big,
guy.
quite big 4 months before. At least I've now become a bit smaller. At least somewhere.
I know. I agree.
And we got hold of a good guy in sales, is Zaid. So yeah, that's been a short and sweet journey of mine. And still every day, how he said, every day we are learning something new, and we came to this day where we are starting with first podcast.
Yeah.
Yep, that's about it. I would like Tushar sir to introduce about himself.
Yeah. This will be
Okay,
interesting.
now me myself. So I'm architect and interior designer Tushar Mistry. I am principal and designer and founder of Tushar Mistry Design Studio. My journey starts before 20 years now, starting with AR and Associates, then Sankalpan Architects, then architect Reza Kabul, and now me, myself. So yeah, we deal into various sectors of interior design and architecture, hospitality, retail, commercial, residential, show flats, CECs, whatever clinics, hospitals, whatever comes under dome of interior architecture. And yeah, we're successfully running in the race with everyone, somewhere forward, somewhere backward. But so far, the journey is good. And with the learning process, you have to learn and unlearn both the things every day. Because what we have learned before 18 years, now we have to unlearn. There is a new thing, there are new things. This is when we are sitting in Luxe surface area where you have new material which is, what do you say, contemporary of tile, of a marble. And it doesn't look like a contemporary of marble. So learning that process, putting that into designs, incorporating everyday innovation that is happening, that is also learning and unlearning the old notions that you already have.
I heard while you were saying something that you have worked closely with Sankalpan. Like they are my family friend. Okay. So Mr. Ninad Randive. So he's very close to me. He was kind of one of the first client to my Lux Surfaces journey at this retail store. He got me one of a good project for his own friend only in Thane. So I know that they work in a different office atmosphere. They are more into
There is SAPL, there is SIPL, so there is infra also, and there
Yes.
is design also.
Design
Was
also.
part of design, and similarly in similar module we also work that we have turnkey infra separate placed and design. That's the idea of actually placing both the studios differently came from there.
Oh,
Usually you mix it up.
yeah.
They do it so well that it was very well organized, and there was always tug of war between those two offices also for the betterment of the project. So that's what, so learning everywhere. So I learned that particular strategy of keeping the your design studio separate and not mixing it with the infra segment. So you can successfully run both of them and individually run both of them.
I think
You are
that's
not
a-
only tagged as a contracting firm or just a designing firm.
Yeah.
And the level of respect that when an architect's name is attached to a contracting firm, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Because right from designing up to the execution, if there is one name involved, I feel that name has to give, they have to justify that name.
Also PMC.
Oh, yeah.
They also provide PMC services, and we don't provide PMC services, but we regulate it in our own studio. So it's a additional benefit for client and us both.
I think that makes very much sense in terms of right from designing up to deliverable. Like from what you show and to what you give to the client is it's exactly easier for him and for you also to give a justification to the client. Okay, boss, I'm saying you this, but I'm delivering you also the same product.
See, what happens is when you are designing and building the same thing, there are a lot of innovations, reformations, and upgrades that you do. And that is in your prerogative. How to make it look better. You're my client, you have come to me, I want to make this mug. It's my duty how to make it best.
Correct.
If I have to put extra effort, I have to put extra money, it will not hesitate me because I'm captain of the ship in a real sense.
Yeah.
There is suggestion, but there is no intervention.
No.
So there are two different things. But when there is a contracting firm, if they are nervous with something, they want to change something, the first attack is of an architect. मैं नहीं change करूँगा. We don't do that with others also because after all, what is important is a project. Nothing else is important. Not even client is important. Client will follow you if the project is okay. He will agree, disagree, will fight, everything. At the end, what person remembers is the end result, at the product that you deliver and what they get. So when we also do that, we keep upgrading things. From the simple thing in one of the project, we had given few grills made of wood. It was a plywood cladded with laminate. But we changed it by ourselves and made it in SS, which was 3 times the cost. And with PVDF because we didn't like the finish of what we made. But that was in our control because we had power to change that. Though we were upgrading, but then and it was a lump sum contract. So nobody was going to ask that if there's an escalation in price or there's a down going in price. So you always tend to improve if the power is given to you. Nobody wants to cut corners. When a designing firm and contracting firm are in sync.
Nice.
I think that's a very good point. What we got to know, more insights of the
You always upgrade.
interior and
You always
contracting
upgrade.
firm.
It's your baby. I mean, if you have a kid and he or she is getting an admission in X school and X plus, you have that right to do that. If that right is given to you of nurturing your baby in the way you want to, you'll always improvise.
Yeah, I think we can call it as something freedom is
Yeah.
what an architect is looking at
Yeah.
in terms of designing, as well as a person like you. I think keeping a mind that okay, that we have this budget, and within that budget, what best can be done, along with the freedom given to you.
So there's always a buffer. And clients, we are lucky to have clients like that who gives us that buffer of decision.
When we speak about client and this, I think that's a very good point that we're speaking on. Though I didn't want to speak about this now, but how do you upgrade a client? That's something which normally, let's say you get like you mentioned, from plywood to this, like that's something which was in your control. But when it comes to a project, let's say you have an X particular product which is costing an X amount and you want to have something which is premium, which is X plus or X into 2 or X into 3. How do you upgrade and how do you explain a client that this is something like we talk about, just to break it into, let's speak about what we get in terms of tiles. That is something already there that we are using, which is vitrified tiles, which has already been there for a long period of time. And you want to upgrade something to what we do as porcelain stoneware. Now the price difference, we all know what it is. And how do you upgrade that client? How that mentality shifts from using something which is, let's say, an X particular amount, an X into 3, X into 4 product?
That generally happens only in residential sector. It never happens in commercial because everything is set, there are no emotions attached. If I have to do some wall, which I have given X amount of marble or a tile or whatever, and when we go for selection, if there is something really, really good, because emotions are attached, client would not mind it. If there is a logical explanation, more than logic, if there is an emotional explanation. Why am I putting this? Why I want to upgrade it? And how can I compensate it with something else? Compensation is also a part of it. Maybe 10% of compensation. At times we go out of the way and say that, okay, this is a gift from us. We do it, but we want to do it. And we have done it in past. So, because when you say it's a gift from me, they will also they'll see the humility in you. They'll see that he is really passionate to do this. He's just not increasing because he wants to increase the budget or he wants his project to look good. It is because he wants to upgrade me, upgrade my premise and not his portfolio. For me, it's just a wall. For him, is an emotion. Only then one person will upgrade if there is an emotional and logical explanation why you want to do it. Reasoning have to be there.
Okay, but when it comes to, I think we're doing, we attach together and multiple spaces together. But when we speak about projects like, because you're known, you are master of something that we all know, of turning around places in 35, 40, 45 days, and then you're a magician to do that. When you take up a project and then you do, that's one sector that you do. Because when you're speaking residential, I've seen the work that you do, the detailed work that you do in terms of residential. I see similar detailed work in something that you do for show flats and CEC. I think that's your specialty, where you have your demands, your command over things, and then you say, I will finish it in 45 days. And I think I have seen personally you completing it in 40, 42nd or 43rd day, and then you are enjoying at the site. I think we have someone in the room who will also agree to it. So when it comes to that, because there is no emotion, I don't know if a developer has emotions of showing his sales lounge, CEC, or a show flat. I don't know how it goes. But that point in time also you upgrade on things, which I think it's something which is temporary as a setup. But then the architect is there someone who's a magician to explain it to the client that this is what I'm going to use, and it will be, I don't know if it is durability, quality, your final output of the product. There I think the emotion factor will not, but still people are upgrading with you when you go in and explain things to them, because there's no one else. I mean, I could be in sales and then we could be doing our best in terms of explaining, but that extra nod of a designer then when you're doing it, and that's what the client is waiting for, that if the designer is with the whole theory of this vendor is putting forward, it could be anyone in the industry. How do you cater that? I mean, what happens there? Because there's no emotion.
No, there is always an emotion. It's the percentage of emotion is less. Because when we say 45 days, you have to be sure what you want to do. And that's the trust. And I'm lucky enough to have that trust from the clients where repetitive jobs we are doing for them. Even if they have given us first job, there is a trust that they put in you. There the trust factor works. Their practicality is a separate thing, but trust is something that they have to do. They have to show in you, and no betrayal policy should be at your end. So these are two factors which are very important. So once it is stabilized, then we don't फिर मैं अपनी भी नहीं सुनता. Then we don't change anything. Neeraj would tell you better that we want this, so we want this. We fight for it within ourselves. That this is what we want now. And when we say to a vendor that you have faced it in past, that if we want it on 15th day, it is 15th day. It is no 14th day or no 16th day or no 15 ka pauna 15 day. Yeah, sava 15 day. It is 15th day. So that is how we have learned, we have strategized it, and those upgrades that liberty is there with us. So as it is, emotional value is less. अगर किसी को फायदा मिल रहा है तो why would somebody would deny? But we have faced this in second negotiation, the second project, when we give them the reasoning why we are higher, why we are high in price, because we have this buffer and we do change things and we do upgrade things without your knowledge. So then they say, then let's negotiate on that buffer part. So there are negatives also to it.
Yeah. I totally agree to your point. Now, coming back to the same topic, but elaborating it in another way, like in terms of designing. So, while you design looking at a product, then you curate the whole area, or you curate it as an ambience first and then select the product. So, just we want to know that how you do the designing part.
Elaborated more.
Yeah.
So let's say a client walks in.
Yeah.
And he's walking in with a project, and he says, maybe he's come through a reference. Then he says, I've got a house which is of, let's say, 3,000 square feet example, and I want to design it with you, and we have seen your work in past. When you're speaking with the client, of course, you'll have one or two meetings with the client to understand his psyche and then how you want to design the space. When you speak with the client, that is the time you already have a picture made in your mind how the house will look tentatively, and then you start going and selecting products, or you take the client at different places and then you see what products are available, and then you sit on the mood board and start designing the space. Because both the things are something which for us being a layman, we don't know how it works.
Yeah.
Because this is something which a lot of people want to hear about.
So there are two aspects. One, we have spoken about residential work, and then we are speaking about commercial work. In commercial, it's very plain and simple. You understand the market, what it is catering to. What is the ticket size? Who is the buyer? What is the age group? That all briefing generally comes from the client or the sales team. So we work according to that. Ki if it is in certain area, neoclassical will work. Certain areas this will work. Certain area only, minimalistic will work. And the size of the project, smaller the size, little bling is required because it's an aspiring residence of someone. Maybe the first house of someone. When you grow 3, 4, 5 BHKs, you have already grown, you have seen the world, you have traveled around. Correct. And now you know your choice is refined. We also must have seen it in our own life. Yeah. Right from Rangila ka kapda, today we are sitting with this kind of Elvis and Gucci's. So that transformation has taken place. So residential client, when he comes or she comes or that family comes to us, they are the projects which are of that size where this is not that the journey is already done. So the design brief comes in a very refined manner. nowadays, because people are well traveled, they exactly know what they want. What we have to do is get into their psychology. So when a residential client comes to us, we tell them it's a 50-50% partnership. We cannot make your house, you cannot make your house on your own. That's why you are sitting here. So that lock and key doesn't work for you. Then they again sometimes argue that you finish off 45, 60 days, blah, blue, blue. Like it will not work because at the end you won't be happy. The developer is happy with me. Because his product is selling well. That we are making for masses. We have considered that if we have even reached 60% or 70% of the reach, that another 30% is always going to be there who doesn't like. Out of that, 20 will be neutral and 10% will be badly criticizing your work. We need that kind of people also to make this world happen. When it comes to your house, your own space, you are a developer, I'm doing your commercial project and I'm doing your house, your body language will be very different. Your approach towards me will be very different. Your requirements are very peculiar. At the age group that people, especially in Mumbai, buy their own bigger houses is somewhere around plus 45. You have seen the world, you have seen everything, your comfort levels are set. You will compromise on aesthetics but not on your lifestyle or your comfort level. So there's a very thin line between a hotel and a house now. Very thin line. And that will come only through experiences. To the new budding designers, they will go off the board, out of the box, innovative ideas, but the basics will never change in interiors, architecture, ergonomics, anywhere. That comfort level, when you go into your home, you have to have that comfort. So we get into the psychology of person, their lifestyle, what they do, what is their profession, what is the family equation. We also tell them, you husband and wife will fight, will be part of that. You will have problem with your mother-in-law, आपकी नहीं पटती, वो भी हमें पता चलेगा. Because it's a engagement of almost 7, 8, 9 months. You cannot camouflage. That will come out somewhere. So we are part of your family. It's a 50-50% partnership. How you cannot hide things from your lawyer, from your CA, and from your doctor. We are also professional, though we are not respected that much how they are or taken seriously, because clients think that they know much of it. आजकल डॉक्टर को भी चैलेंज करते हैं. But at that point of time, that knowledge sharing and space sharing is very important. That okay, fine, we have arrived, now we start work. Understanding each and every person's psychology of the house, their favorite colors. If somebody is sporty, somebody is into glam, somebody is very rough and tough jhalli types, तो वो भी incorporate करना पड़ता है. So home is a bigger project than a hotel.
Yeah, I totally agree. That means you become like a family member to a residential project. You have to become like a family member to understand their needs and requirements, and then you design the space.
You have to go through the mood swings also of people.
अच्छा.
Yeah, you have to go through that. I mean, you are a family member. If your mother tells you 10 things, you have to listen. You will reciprocate on 9th thing. 8 बार तो सुनना ही पड़ेगा. With patience, with sometimes putting your foot forward and saying this is what it is. So वो tug of war चलता रहता है. At the end, till the time they don't cross their line of respect and we don't cross our line of respect, things goes well. ऐसा कुछ fallout residential में नहीं होता. और आप सबको satisfy नहीं कर पाओगे एक घर के अंदर. There'll be someone who will be unhappy with you again for something.
I agree.
And I believe that a perfection doesn't exist in this world.
Yeah.
If you see this nature, nothing is more perfect than nature, but if you see there is no symmetry between two things. And that's the beauty of non-symmetrical things in life. We put amazing this kind of finished marble which is, or a tile which has got different textures and shades to it. That's the beauty of it. Why there are 8 variations in your tiles that you sell and not only 2 or 1? Nobody likes monotony. Nobody likes repetition. There has to be variation, and that variation comes with imperfection.
I think we've started a little heavy.
That's okay. I mean,
Conversation heavy हो गया है ना? Cut. Just want to understand, sir, because we've got to know that you were very good in sketching. When you were sketching idols and then you were sketching gods, And then that time, you were very young at that point in time. You used to sit and you used to sketch things. And that's how I think you decided of because your drawing was good, meko designer banna. This is what vaguely we know about you. We don't know about you.
No, my father changed so many houses,
Okay.
and every time there was some designing happening.
Okay.
So that inspired me.
Okay.
So sketching was more of a turning me as a commercial artist or a fine artist. That was one of my aspect. Then I also had a part in acting. I used to be stage artist,
Okay.
theater artist. Then the phase came when I wanted to be playback singer.
Okay.
So I'm a trained semi-classical singer also. So it came into phases, but actually, I decided to be into architecture or interior field only after my 10th.
Okay.
There was art somewhere, and I think this is also work of art and craft when architecture it comes to. So I'm still there in touch with every aspect of it. I find music in architecture, I find art in architecture, I find acting in architecture. So it's everything is there in that. You are building, you are constructing, you are into a construction zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a very what do you say? You become Brahma in that case.
So just to understand, like you mentioned, you were in 10th, and we know the entire. I mean, at least the world wants to know the entire journey because you were in SEPT at one point in time. That's like National School of Drama when it comes to acting. You know, we've got
Yeah,
good people.
we're all drama queens only
yeah.
out there. So
Because-
typical Septian would think that I'm from Harvard.
that's how because that's there because I think what I know about SEPT as an institute, BB Doshi sir started it, and he got a lot of foreign faculty when SEPT was in the initial stage, and you know. Indian faculty felt ये हम लोग क्यों नहीं कर सकते in that bargain of foreign intervention and Indians want to prove काफी अच्छे लोग निकले वहां से बाहर. There were a lot of good people and that good education was going on at that point in time. So want to understand because we know that you have changed multiple cities in Gujarat and then you were a young boy who landed up in Bombay, just seeking permission from your father and just your college education fees was given from there and you had a very supportive father. This is what we know about your family, and we want to understand what happens in that brain. No one told you to go to these colleges, and I think that's one thing. What were you? Because that point in time there were major two professions, या तो doctor बनो या engineer
Yeah,
बनो.
engineer bano. Yeah.
That point
नहीं,
in time there was
architect
no
भी
one
था.
there.
My father always wanted to make me dyeing master.
Okay.
I don't know why because the starting पगार तेरा 1-1.5 लाख रुपया.
Okay.
And I as a child I always told you dye करने के इतने पैसे कहाँ से मिलते
Okay. Okay.
Then once upon a time कि मरने के पैसे मिलते हैं क्या रोज मरना होगा ऐसा मरने की एक्टिंग डाइंग मास्टर.
Dying master. Yeah.
What
Back
was
to
that,
your,
that kids? I think that you're. I think when you were growing up, and that's what you used to.
So I was always lucky with parents who were progressive. They gave a lot of liberty. I wanted to do acting. They let me go. I want to learn music. They let me do. I was never into sports, leaving football apart. That was the only sport I used to play. Cricket I used to hate. Now I watch.
Now you-
I'm tolerant and I'm interested also. But only India ka match. Very patriotic.
Someone very close to your family also told us the favorite outdoor activity was going and playing in mud.
Yeah.
So it was I mean, if you're not found in the house, you're outside in the mud. So what happens in that kid's brain at that point in time, and how did the entire journey start? Because this is what we want to know from your 10th when you started off. You had a clarity of you want to do interior designing, which was a very early age, to today. What is that your education journey has been, and how education has played a major role in terms of molding things?
When I completed, I was in 10th. That's where I had to decide whether I have to go for science, commerce, or arts.
Perfect.
Because I was an artist by heart.
Okay.
So I might have opted for a commercial arts or fine arts.
Correct.
But then something triggered and I took science.
What was that something? that you took science?
Just because just want to do architecture. It fascinated me. Multiplexes were coming that point of time.
Okay.
So the real estate was really in boom, and the cities of Gujarat that point of time, they were really
Developing.
going through a
yeah.
renaissance.
phase.
Which year we are speaking
So I
about
wanted
this?
to bring a renaissance types. That okay, fine. I want to get the.
Just to put a age stamp on this, what year we are discussing this at?
So I was, I mean, into a 10th would be what, 14 years old.
No, but what year is when you started your education?
I'm very bad at roads and years. I really have to go back and. So my masters I completed in 2000. So you work the reverse. way.
Perfect. All right. So I think 5-7 years.
Whatever.
Back. Yeah, cool.
5-7 years before that. So from there, then I had opted for science, which I went to from Surat. I was in Bardoli.
Okay.
So Bardoli is known for its satyagraha. First successful satyagraha of the world was Bardoli satyagraha, run by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel.
Correct.
So from there, I went to Vadodara. Vadodara, I studied for 1 year, that is 11th. I could not survive there because of the extreme climates.
Okay.
So I came back to Navsari. There I completed my 12th in science.
Okay.
Then I again wanted to go to MS University. That was a dream. Every good architect that point of time was from MS University.
Okay.
When you talk of Hafiz Contractor or Reza Kabul or anybody whom you idolized that point of time,
Yeah.
they were all product of either Sir J.J. School of Architecture, Mumbai,
Yeah.
Correct.
or MS University. So applied for that also, and then CEPT also came up. That this is also a very good university. So I applied for both, and I got cleared both the entrance test in both the colleges.
Okay.
So CEPT had its own different because MS University is government,
Correct.
and CEPT is semi-government, you can say. So you, so the journey was just went through the flow. That okay, there was no pre-notions thinking that I'll become this, but yeah, I wanted to get the renaissance. फिर वो opportunity मिली Australia, Sydney. There's 2 years there, scholarship, everything went off, and I came back. And I understood that interiors, if I want to do per se, you have to go in depth, because in architecture you don't go in depth of interiors. It's overall one of the curriculum that you go through. So then I did diploma in interiors from LS Raheja School of Architecture, 2 years. That was part-time course, and Alhad Raje was my professor there, whom I call my mentor. So when I left that, he had joined in hands with Hiten Sethi from Navi Mumbai. So that's where I was introduced. So my actually on paper first job was Hiten Sethi and Associates.
Okay.
But then he left from there, and I also left from there with him. Then I worked with him for 4.5 years. Then I got opportunity to work with Sankalpan Architects on their hospitality portfolio, because they were setting up hospitality that point of time. They were mostly into commercial.
Yeah, they are major into commercial.
And then I got through that, and then from there, just formally introduced by a VP of Goa Gitka Group, whom we were doing designing that point of time from Sankalpan for a hotel Beatles in Pune, in Powai.
Okay.
So he introduced that you're looking for someone, he's the guy. And it was very formal, informal. There was no interview. In fact, I have not given interview in my life for any of the job.
Welcome, sir.
So I have not gone through that difficult process of interview as such. And probably wherever I've given interview, I have never succeeded. Because I had no experience of giving interviews. The Gen Zs or millennials of today, they're very smart in that case. They know what they want and how they want to present themselves. We were all learning, and I'm not camera shy, but I'm interview shy then.
Okay.
In a way. So then after completing 7.5 years, I left Reza Kabul to start off my own.
Okay.
And he gracefully let me go. I had taken 6 months to move from there. There were so many responsibilities on your head. And we still share a good cordial relationship with him.
Nice.
So that's the journey.
That's a beautiful journey, I think. A lot of young architects
I
looking at
agree.
him as an ideal or want to become like Tushar sir. I think it's a beautiful journey what he shares with us today.
No, I just wanted to ask one question to you. What is that you picked from each offices that has shaped you over a period of time? Because see, every place that you work.
So when I talk of Alad Raja, when I came back, see in Gujarat, that point of time, English was very bad in condition. Like now, what Gujarat is today in terms of English, it was not like that.
Okay.
Though I have studied in English medium school, my parents, वो उन्हें सूखा रोटी खा के हमको इंग्लिश मीडियम में पढ़ाया. That kind of thing it was. Overall culture was not of that sort. So my dictions, my language was very colloquial, very local.
Okay.
To the extent, even after coming from Australia, I didn't know how to eat with fork and knife and all. Because they're also very protected between Gujaratis only.
Okay.
So it was all very khakra, papada, all of that only was very prominent in my life. So when I came back, Alhad Raje and his wife, Sheetal Raje, who is my Rakhi sister as well,
Okay.
they taught me how to conduct yourself, how to dress up, how the mannerisms of table, the mannerism of speaking, correction of diction, language. So she used to give me 3 words every. That was a pact. That 3 words in the morning she'll give it to me from dictionary somewhere, and I have to articulate it or put it somewhere in my day-to-day routine.
Okay.
So my grooming, overall grooming, what you say, that transformation that you say 360 degree 3 times or 2 times what you mentioned earlier, that actually started there.
Okay.
The base, what you see TM today, the base is there. So I will always regard them. I mean, they are something. I mean, godfather, godmother, whatever you say. Basically, they nurtured a kid who was very raw, who was very, very crude in his way. So that's where they going to a 5 star, breaking that thing that 5 star में आम आदमी खाना खा सकता है.
Yeah.
So that is what they used to take me for midnight buffet, and I was part of their family. I'm still part of their family.
Nice.
So that grooming started from there.
Okay.
And then dire, you also learn things. You also correct your things. Then I met friends who were very good at language. So they helped me out. Otherwise, my English was natural to the natural. So it was not a correct English. Grammar की तो मतलब band बजी. So धीरे-धीरे learn किया. So grooming happened over the phases. So ज़्यादा time जो है ना वो ऐसे निकला कि you are grooming, you are learning. So it फटाफट निकल गया time. You never realize that you reach somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like listening to your music and walking on a treadmill. You don't realize you already walked 30 minutes.
Correct.
So it was like that. Ups and downs आए, whatever, but
That's part of life. That's
a
fun.
part of life, and that is required. It keeps you grounded. Today you have this. Today, if I'm traveling by a fancy car, tomorrow I might have to go by rickshaw. You should be prepared for it.
That's true.
Life always shows you graphs. वो तो आना ही है. Every sunset has a sunrise, and every sunrise has a sunset.
My father used to tell one thing, that to appreciate the highs, you have to see the lows. If you get the highs directly, you feel that is the low, and then you seek for something better. Then if you've seen the lowest in your life, then you appreciate every single thing which is a high. That's I think that's the perfect thing to match here.
One cannot get over mesmerized, and that also comes through experience over the period of time. Even you must have seen that change in you. After achieving certain level in your life, you always see that lot of joy in getting something is also not good, and lot of sorrow in losing something is also not good. There should be happiness. There should be joy, but not like jumping out of the seats all the time, wow, and then crying and weeping yourself if you don't get something. So those are the phases that people go through. But after certain age and after certain achievement in your life, that should come in you. That you don't get over happy and overjoyed, and equipoised. It needs to be like balanced. So that's the key of happiness in success. Then success will not run on your head and dance.
Yeah. So in terms of design philosophy, what is your design philosophy in terms of how you have a basic character? Like each interior or architect has a specific design ideology. Like someone likes classical theme more, or someone is more into colors, someone is more into those dark and with a poppy colors, or what is exactly Tushar Mistry is looking at in terms of ideology, because I feel that as an identity, it reflects your designs and your whole firm. It rotates around what Tushar Mistry sir is at the end of the day. And you love to do those kind of maybe an experiment or a pop of color somewhere, or little you go into that little darker types of bathrooms, or how I think this defines what it should look like at the end of the day.
So when you see something, you can identify this is TM's product.
Yeah.
Correct?
Exactly.
Well, now looping the question that you asked me, what have you learned from all of them?
Correct.
So my base, again, I'll go to Alad Rajay and Associates,
Okay.
where he was very versatile. He is very versatile designer. So he doesn't have any peculiar style. I mean, he is almost 20 years older to me.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have any peculiar style. And my grooming happened when your crude and your shape,
Yeah.
that psyche in you, which was put in me, was versatility.
Okay.
Okay.
It's good and bad both.
Okay.
I have still not identified my style of design. I'm still versatile. Like I would, and performance-wise, probably I'm performing good in every aspect of design in that way because it is being appreciated.
Correct.
So if I have to do a dark black room, I can do that. I can do poppy colors also at the same point of time.
Yeah.
If you give me a neoclassical mansion villa, I can do that. At the same point of time, a minimalistic interiors can be also part of it. Again, that because of it was never a stereotype or same pace of work that you have done it in past. So we are very experimental, and for that reason there is no style. I mean, you will never able to identify that this is his style. A few elements people will come to know that ये इनकी design में होता है.
बराबर.
Yeah.
The approach towards design or the end product, person can understand that this is his style. But at the same point of time, it is bad for us because people have to gauge that this is his style. When we talk of other fellow architects who have identified their niche,
Yeah.
like if I can name few of them, Karan Desai, you will see his style, which is very peculiar. You can understand his Karan Desai. This is his. Kavan,
Yeah.
you will understand this is his approach, the romance of, he'll show the entire romance of the design that he has put into it and got things into it and how he has come to that approach.
Yeah.
And they are doing very good and niche work.
Yeah.
So, but at the same point of time, you have to wait for that kind of a client. You have to wait that kind of a time and psyche and match that that project will come to you.
Yeah.
So identifying those people becomes a task.
Okay.
You can say how well Sanjay Leela Bhansali makes a movie with each and it integrate detailing into it.
Correct.
Every frame
Yeah.
is like a portrait.
Correct.
Yeah.
So when you have a niche, you tend to become that kind of an artist who is very well involved, who is very well wasted, you can say in that. But when a versatile designer comes into picture, I mean, we involve and invest for that particular project. We don't get too much into it that I was just Coffee with Karan's episode of Ranveer Singh and first episode, Deepika Padukone.
Deepika Padukone, yeah.
So that's what they were narrating, that when every movie I find a different husband.
He's that versatile actor.
comes home in a
Versatile
different
actor.
time zone.
He
Yeah,
can
yeah.
So
act
when
in different
so
roles.
when he comes, when he is
Alauddin Khilji.
Alauddin Khilji, so he is Alauddin Khilji at home also.
Binte Dil.
So this is how we are. Like we switch on, switch off ourselves. So that's the reason it's good and bad both, because then we have lots in our platter to cater. People, anybody can approach us. Not a peculiar mindset or peculiar psychology that wants to work with us. Everybody is welcomed.
Okay.
So मेरा style अभी तक पता नहीं चला, but if you ask me that the close to my heart, if any style is,
Yeah, this is
that
where I was
is
reaching.
minimalistic.
Okay, you're more into like
Because again, it comes from the same thing that where you have been there, done it all.
Correct.
You have to settle with something which is more subtle, more peaceful. At the end, when a minimalistic picture comes into your brain, it is very subtle, plain. It's a canvas where anything can be thought of.
Correct.
yeah,
So if you're dwelling in such kind of house or a residence or an environment where everything is monotonous, your thought process, what do you say, energizes to think beyond that.
Correct.
That's where we approach.
Okay.
And the versatility in us is a good and bad thing both. It doesn't give us recognition as a niche designer, but at the same point of time, if gives us money, work, project, satisfied and happy clients,
Okay.
why not?
agree. So you can work in any kind of atmosphere, and you can basically work out for all the clients. You are a good architect at the end.
We don't say no to anything.
Okay.
We'll try. If you have not done something in past, there's always first time that you do things.
Yeah.
So we'll always try.
You're always happy to take new challenges in life, basically.
In here, we do 5 small residences which are 1 BHK, 2 BHK, 2.5 BHK types.
Okay.
Just to test our thing that can we even today
Yeah.
satisfy a client who has a very low budget.
Hmm.
Now we play in a higher budget, we have reached there, but still to stay grounded, we try and even satisfy that psychology also from who have actually put everything off there
Yeah.
Yeah.
in that particular home, and they really want to get done work from us. So those 5 projects are there in a year who that keeps our patience and our what do you say, capabilities intact. That अगर वो टाइम आया फ्यूचर में कि हमें ये भी करना पड़ा तो वी आर स्टिल देयर, वी कैन स्टिल डू इट, we can still deal with a client who has low budget and they feel very intimidated, so keeping them in that comfort zone is also a task.
Yeah. I mean, reaching to such a level and doing that kind of work also, right? We kudos to you, sir. That we
Thank you.
appreciate that you're still. This shows us that you're still grounded. You're still connected to those people also for who have 1 BHK or 2 BHK, and they are putting everything to their home. They are paying loans for the home. They are getting their interiors done by you.
Yeah.
I think
I agree.
there are not much of the interior architects, I feel, do the same. I've dealt with few, but you are the one we are happy to be sitting with you
What
and understanding
happens
you.
is, Sharan, when a person comes to you with whole heart and mind and soul and all, you get connected. Residential work is a work of emotion. If they touch correct wavelength of yours, we get connected to them. If they don't, even we have left projects which are 10 BHKs. Because I always tell my client, first proposal, second proposal. Third, you should change your designer. Either you are wrong or he is wrong.
Or
For
either
you
they're
or
not-
for this project.
Yeah, they're not matching
Yeah.
the same level of
It will
wavelength
make
or
no
vibe.
sense if you keep dragging, and at the end, it is not going to help.
Yeah.
So for those 5 small projects also, people are so grounded and happy and ready to understand that their budget is less, but we don't make them feel that their budget is less.
I think that's
Because
where
for
the-
him, that budget is very high.
very
Yeah,
high.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I remember the days when first job that I had to take up on my own, struggling and giving presentation to impress some client to get 1 lakh rupees fees or 50,000 rupees fees. So am I still that child?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I still there where I can still do that, go to that level and speak to a client in a manner that, but it's not the same. Obviously, now they get intimidated, they know that whom they are dealing with. But at the same time, you are going to that level where you were there earlier and you understand that that 50,000 rupees was so important for you that point of day. It is still important for you today.
Nice.
I think that defines the lows and highs what we were talking about previously.
One has to be prepared for every situation. Who knew that COVID is going to come and entire world is going to shut for such a long time? 2 years, we all struggled with everything.
Yeah.
But we all came out of that. Now, if David comes, we are prepared for it.
COVID saw many ups and downs. A lot of people lost a lot of lives also. It's not only the money, but a lot of lives also were went.
Yeah.
And everyone or the other, like richest from the poorest, I think in COVID times they were parallel. COVID didn't left any human being in terms of price aspect. It came in terms of life aspect, and that's where people got to know that how grounded or how well connected they have to be with their family.
Agreed.
It rejoined the whole family together in terms of COVID time. It rejoined in terms of friendships. More friendships, more families got into the picture again of, getting attached back to their grounds rather than only, working or getting individualism or going out of way, not talking to parents, and it's a big topic at the end of the day.
I
I
agree.
always believe that the Gitas are whatever happened, happening, and will happen for good.
Yeah.
There is something better if something doesn't materialize for you. Probably you're out of some bad thing that is going to happen.
Yeah.
So always take it in that spirit. अगर कोई project नहीं अच्छा हुआ नहीं है,
Yeah.
few things if they don't come your it is better.
My uncle, who's like my guru, he always taught me that अगर कोई प्रोजेक्ट पे चढ़ गए और कुछ गलत हो गया और आप उतर गए, तो आप हमेशा याद रखना कि आप एक गलत ट्रेन में चढ़े थे, आप जल्दी उतर गए. Rather than reaching the wrong destination,
Nice.
you left it
Yeah.
immediately on the next station.
Yeah.
So, you're not passing that journey, and at the end, you're not going through that bad phase, and you left it early. मैं गलत डब्बे में चढ़ा और जल्दी उतर गया. That is more important.
In my 20 years of career, I walked off only 2 projects.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm known for my patience. In even ARK, Reza Kabul, I used to be given projects.
I agree.
The clients
You're known
demanded
for your patience.
utter level of patience. Those were like given to me. So I've been known for my patience throughout in my family, everywhere. So imagine that person who is known for his patience throughout across his life must have walked out of 2 projects. How difficult that client would have been.
Extreme.
yeah, that would have been very extreme. I feel.
That is also required. Where your
Where to
dignity is
draw
getting
your line.
questioned, you just walk off.
Yeah.
That is also a learning that how you can, where we tried, we struggle, we do everything. At the end, that's the last resort, you do it.
Yeah.
No harm in doing that.
Speaking about that, I've also got to know that you're a glue that keeps the family together. That's because of your patience. You deal with everyone very calmly, and then you try to. हाँ आपको ज़्यादा मार नहीं पड़ी बचपन में, वो हमको वो भी पता है.
मेरी वजह से बहुत मार पड़ी है.
I was about to say that.
So, youngest in the whole family tree.
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously, and the most pampered child.
Yeah.
So for that reason, and I was very notorious. I mean, in my childhood, the patience that you see today was again 360 degree, 3 times less.
Okay.
I want to add something here of bringing animals home. What was that? Why you used to get goats at home?
I see. Goats and puppies.
Yeah.
Goats I never used to get. It was my brothers and my cousins who used to do that. So I was a tiny boy who will get the goats at home.
Okay.
But it was my cousins from Mumbai who used to come there.
Okay.
For them it was because here तो कुछ उनको मजा नहीं आता था life में.
Okay.
It was a proper village.
Okay.
So what they used to do is they used to get the goat home in the backyard.
Okay.
उसका दूध निकालते थे और लास्ट में मुझे वहाँ बिठा देते थे और फिर नाम मेरा आता था कि he is the one who has done this.
अब हमारे को भी यही कॉन्टेक्स्ट में मालूम पड़ा है कि आप गोट लाके उसका दूध निकालते थे.
तो वो सब अपना काम कर लेते थे. बेचारी का जितना दूध निकलना था सब निकल जाता था. And then अब तुम करो. So I'm holding and I'm caught. It's like that. वो कौवे का बैठना हुआ डाल का टूटना.
No, because I want to ask this. This is what I've seen because I was studying about your projects over this 2-3 days, and because I've worked with you and मैंने कभी इतना वो नहीं देखा, but you are someone who's connected to a lot of nature elements in your project. I have seen a lot of greens. I've seen a lot of nature elements in your project. Somehow the other, I don't know. Maybe it could be a green tile to a green vase to something which elements nature. That's there because I don't know. That's somehow connected in all the projects that you have a little bit of greens and blues and earth colors, and you have those nature elements. And is there something which is thought and it's there in your projects, or it goes with the flow and it falls into the
I
play?
believe anything because everything around, even in the whole this room is all artificial. What is only thing? I think this is also artificial.
No, this is
a natural.
Behind you also.
behind you.
So that's in the whole thing. If in one piece which is depicting growth, which has life, which is vibrating its emotion to you, so that changes the whole ambience of the place. यहीं पे एक artificial plant रख दो which has no life, which is emitting negative radiation to you, which has got no growth in it. आज एक पत्ता सूखा, you will notice that. उसका एक पत्ता गिर गया, आप notice भी नहीं करोगे. Because it has life, and that will compensate, will balance the whole area. So those colors which are earthy, which are natural, which depict some nature into it, when you bring into interior space, it definitely adds on to a liveliness of the space. Probably that's the reason, because it grows, it falls, you can talk to them, they even emote emotions to you. So वो चलते रहता है. Even in my house also, I have someone gifted me 4 feet long bamboos. Now they are around 10 feet long.
Wow.
So I trim them and again put that thing inside, and it again regrows. So that is there. That a transformation, there is a growth, there is something which is live. When you are still not around in this space, this gentleman is here.
Yeah.
He is living in this space. This space is not empty. It is not giving that negative vibration of emptiness.
That's true.
So for the end users who is using it, for him also, they will also travel. They will have this. So it will give out its emotion when nobody is around. So it will keep that positivity in the house.
Speaking of service, brings me to another segment because it was later planned. But how does a service impacts your project? Very important, because we are into service industry. A lot of people feel that we are into building material industry or architecture interior. But like you mentioned earlier also that, frontline heroes are the ones. I feel interior designers and architects are the ones who are also part of frontline workers. I've written an article on LinkedIn about it. The reason for that is because your lifestyle. I mean, today you move to any country and you see the entire cityscape is made by someone that you're enjoying. That is done by someone. The hospitals that are designed by you, and the way you plan in hospital also, can save someone's life also. Because if you have not well planned in a hospital from emergency room to the operation theater, if it's not planned properly and it's not executed well, that planning is also important. So that becomes a frontline worker job also. In terms of your project, because you get deadlines also, right? Diwali pe hamare ko, there's a house opening on Diwali. How does your vendors support? Important is very crucial for you for the service part. You want because when you're saying things like I will complete the project in 45 days, there's a forge behind you, and then that one person is taking it because you have an army behind you who's taking care of things. How do you pick and choose that army? Is what I want to understand.
So over the period of time, you build people like you guys who are our army. Basically, if I can do everything alone, I could be God. It requires your studio support. It requires your vendor support, your carpenter support, your bigari support, who is actually just have no intelligence to work on any skill set. But his skill set is also very important to take things and just throw and dump somewhere. A sweeper, housekeeping, everybody. So as I earlier said, we need all kind of people to make this world happen. When it comes to the vendor colony or vendor support system, loyalty is one very important thing, and money. So what money can do in this world, nothing else can do. When it comes to, because you are dealing with a commercial project.
Correct.
Commerce itself is the word.
Correct.
So if that give and take relationship is good, If you are not cheating out with them, if you are supporting them in the issues which arrives out of the blue, which you have not envisaged. So it's again a partnership, not on paper but on a moral grounds. It's always a partnership where you don't delay their payments, they don't delay your deliveries. एक दो बार जब होता है तो that is tolerable. If it becomes a pattern, then you get a name tag. We tell our clients also the same thing. We don't want credits. We don't want to give credits. We don't want to take credits.
Okay.
Okay.
That is how we are functioning. Rather, we don't do your job. There is a certain payment system that has to come. We give a reasoning, a logical explanation to the whole thing. Still you are not convinced, then we are not a right people and you are not right people for us. So if you have to get it done in so much of time frame, if I satisfy my vendor paying him 70% advance, at the night 4 o'clock, if I want a tile, they'll open their warehouse and send it to me. I share that relationship with them.
Correct.
And I will do it once in a blue moon.
Yeah, even
If I make a pattern,
Yeah.
शेर आया तो शेर जब आ जाएगा तब कुछ नहीं होगा.
so basically building a relationship.
Precisely.
With every service industry requires a relationship.
And you win on services only. There is a 12 months contract signed with them. You have to give them service.
Correct.
If your vendor से मेरे को तो 48 hours लगेंगे, 72 hours लगेंगे, तुम क्या ही कर लोगे? But at the same point of time, when you call and your vendor says that अभी मैं 2 घंटे में भेजता हूँ, that is your win. And that is why client will prefer you. That is why end user will prefer you by saying इनकी service अच्छी है. When a frontline warrior gains all benefits and praises, bullets are also first on their chest. So we take that bullets, we secure our vendor list, then when they have to come in the front and take bullets, they should. So it's a give and take relationship. It's commercial. Everything is commercial. You keep them happy commercially. There will be time when you have to support yourself, your system, if there is something wrong. If some payment is stuck and you know that this guy is genuinely stuck हुआ होगा. And we have vendors who have supported us for years, 2 years also. Because we don't mix up project money. If it has come for this, it will be given for this, and we don't keep it only to us. आया दूसरे दिन distribute कर दिया.
Last time I was in your office. I was like, थोड़ा टाइम तो देखने दे, इतना अमाउंट मेरे अकाउंट के अंदर ना. अभी 2 घंटे में खत्म हो जाएगा.
Which is your favorite project or
A
a
project
dream
very close
project
to your
what you
heart.
have done or which is close to your heart, which you have completed?
I would not say close to my heart or something, because I have not come up. Being a versatile, you can't say this is one, this is that, this is every project is close to your heart.
Correct.
You must have gone through something every
Yeah,
project.
yeah.
But even after so many years and so many, organized, we talked of a lot of things. That Jasdan Classic is the project which actually made us more solid in life. It was that one hammer on a nail that अब तो ठीक हो गया.
Okay.
It actually took a lot of toll of us, and we overcommitted, undercommitted, whatever it was. But we delivered the project on time. But there was so much of learning. It's a lifetime experience, what you say, for everyone. The last 9-10 days of that project was a case study.
Okay.
We didn't go home. Each and every member of my studio or contractor studio, and I would appreciate the Muslim community for that. It was their Ramadan. Those people used to break their fast, come back in 2 hours and work overnight. So that's the support that we got. Only then we could complete it. We had promised them 60 days, we took 90 days.
Okay.
And that too because of there are a lot of changes in the structure and these and demand of the client. They also supported us. It was not that there was no support from their end. We collectively worked together, but it took a lot of things that we reformed ourselves after that. That this cannot be the way forward. We have to be prepared for this situation also. You have to be conscious before
Can
you
you add
commit.
some situations just to understand, just to get a picture?
What all can go wrong in a project have gone wrong there. So it's a proper case study of that project. I'll just give you a few salient features.
Yeah.
Like for making an RCC structure, you need that much of area next to it. We didn't have it. So we were digging, we were taking out the sand, and we were welding is also happening there, foundation is also happening there, everything is happening there in that space only.
Okay.
So if this is the space, this is the space.
You have to do
And it
that
was a
only.
known choice that this is a space. We took that on us. मतलब वो आप बैल मुझे मारिया पैरों पे अपनी कुल्हाड़ी मार ली थी. Not knowing that it will take so much of effort to complete it. We thought it's a simple project. We have done it in past. We'll still pull it through. We'll still do it. So थोड़ा सा कैजुअल हो भी गए थे.
Okay.
Thinking that अभी तो 20-25 प्रोजेक्ट कर लिया, अब क्या ये भी कर ही लेंगे. It was G+1 structure. One staircase to go up and down.
Okay.
Show flats are on the top. Sales lounge is on the bottom. Sales lounge got ready first. Show flats are still not ready.
Okay.
वही staircase से आना है जाना है तो नीचे भी complete नहीं कर सकते.
Okay.
Then I remember first floor के ऊपर PCC होना था. जिस दिन PCC होना था उसी दिन strike of water tankers.
My God.
Everybody is trying. Prestige is trying. DB Realty is trying. Everybody, whosoever could do, वो trucks अंदर ही नहीं आने दे रहे tankers को city में. Somehow, we would thank another client of ours, Mr. Jumani, from National Developers. He said, जितना पानी चाहिए ले जाओ. He
Okay.
opened up BMC. He opened up his tanks. He opened up everything, whatever water he had. जो चाहिए जितना चाहिए ले जाओ. At around 12 o'clock, we messaged him. 12:01 he said, जो चाहिए ले जाओ. So we arranged syntax tanks.
Okay.
उसको रात में बिकॉज वो छुपा के लेके जाना था तो ट्रक हायर किया जिसके अंदर वो बंद वाला ट्रक क्योंकि पानी का मूवमेंट ही नहीं होने दे रहे. दे वेंट देयर, दे फिल्ड अप द वाटर. ही नीरज वेंट देयर and he is on that rickshaw, whatever tempo, sitting in there. And then he comes with a like, yeah, we did it, I got the water.
I mean, at that point of time, it was an achievement when there was no water allowed. The water movement was not allowed.
And we arranged it. Like we didn't give up by saying, अब पानी नहीं है क्या करेंगे. Plus माथाड़ी वहाँ पे local थे. Imagine the table turning in this, how this city has this spirit of supporting someone who is in problem. You can see that.
Okay.
How vibrant Mumbai city is. जो 2 दिन पहले आके काम बंद करवा के गए थे कि पैसा चाहिए, काम बंद करो, ये करो, वो करो. They were standing with us and सामने की चॉल्स में जहाँ पानी आता था वहाँ से उन लोगों ने हमें हेल्प किया कि यहाँ से जाके हम लोग एक वो बिस्लरी के 15-20 लीटर के जो आते वो भर भर के हम लेके आ रहे थे पानी.
Nice.
और वो पीसीसी आधा हमने मिनरल वाटर से किया because that was only drinkable water was only available.
Okay.
But we did it. Like I was holding a pipe, me and Ekhan were holding pipe जिसमें से पानी अंदर वो LNT के उसमें डाल रहे थे जहाँ से पानी ऊपर चढ़ रहा था. Tanks we are already made, but tankers could not go inside because tanker अंदर जा ही नहीं सकती.
There's no space.
There's no space. So Tariq still remember. You were like holding that pipe. I still have those photographs, and he tells everyone whom he meets.
Speaking about Jasdan Classic that you were discussing, I think right before the segment. Now continuing from there, Jasdan Classic as a project, I think not specific Jasdan Classic, but projects like Jasdan Classic is what we have. And in terms of those projects, now little bit speaking about, because we are into large slabs and this is what we cater to. Any brand that you speak with about Italian products, you know, we have Fiandre as a brand, we have ML Ceramic as a brand, we cater to multiple brands when it comes to Luxe surfaces. Now, speaking about large slabs, what impact does it do? A is product timeline that we speak about because of the slab size of 5 feet by 10 feet is more or less what we have. B is the quality of the product. And C, I want to discuss about your uh, when it comes to quality, aesthetic, how it looks. Do you, when you visualize a particular product, just to put a little more context on that, let's say you visualize something which with a B brand or a C brand versus our A brand. When you picturize something with those material, when it's there in the display center or the experience center, does the output come better to what you have imagined, or equally good to what you've imagined versus a B or a C brand that we're speaking about? So these three things is what I want to discuss about when it comes to large slabs.
See, when I see large slab as a mid-segment luxury. Uh, Luxury is marble. I mean, you can't beat what is natural. You can't beat what has its natural formation over the period of thousands, lakhs of years. But this something that the same aspiration that is achieved in the larger slabs. First of all, the thickness. Because of thickness, the joint problems and the undulations are taken care of. That's most important. It is only 6 mm. It's a flexi tile. Laying is easier. Handling is difficult, but after laying and the durability is good enough because being porcelain tile. Uh, Looking to your contemporary, where you have Indian brands as well who cater to that. They are 9 mm, so they are not flexi tiles. Not that we don't achieve looks and feel with that. It's about the overall presentation. It's about the whole ease of work and the bands and the installation process. Also the variation, like those brands have 4 or 6 variations, you have 8 to 10 variations. Availability, they are easily available. Here, some of the products you might have to place an order with. But at the end, depends on what is your application and what is the budget of the project. Somebody who can afford marble can be brought to these larger slabs looking at the maintenance part of it. So if somebody is trying to lower the bar a little bit, I'm not saying it is a vast difference. If I'm grading them in it is just like 1 or 2 marks here and there. It is natural is natural, artificial is artificial. Indian products are also as good as Italian products these days. You get prints the way you want to. They're also double printed. These are 8-time printed larger slabs. So overall, larger slab per se, if you say even Indian or Italian or whatever, the ease of laying, I mean the completion, time completion is faster because in few slabs you complete that many square feet of area. So it's quick. Well, let's leave the technical part of it, how they are being made and what are the band issues and all of that. Per se, when it generalized larger slabs, when you're talking of, it's easy to lay, faster to lay, just on adhesive, you lay them and finish it. So work that is going to happen in like 5 days, 6 days, that can be achieved in one night. So we have fixed like 9,000 square feet of larger slabs in just one night.
Nice. Just to elaborate more on the large slab part, sir, because I'm speaking as a layman, because we get a lot of clients who are doing their home for the first time, or they're looking at this product, because this entire industry of large slab has evolved in the last 10, 15, 20 years, not more than that. Thanks for the Middle East. So now, when it comes to this particular segment, which is just bought in, of product, we get a couple of questions which are layman questions. I mean, if I'm walking into the store, I'm looking at something like this, where if someone is starting to make their house, the first stop is a marble quarry or marble store.
We also start our entire story revolves around the flooring. The main floor of the house gets the story. That's the key of the whole concept. I think color rendition, because that's the major part of your whole premise.
So when it comes to flooring, I mean, a young house or a neoclassic or a nuclear families is what we talk about. If they want to get their house done, they start off by looking at a marble store and then look at a marble. the second stop is when they come to us, and there are a couple of questions that they have. Very basic questions that they have is, टाइल में बेंड है क्या? This is first thing that we get. इतना पतला है तो टूट जाएगा. This is very basic. It's 6 mm and people don't know. They've not used it before, and they did where because they directly compare it with a marble which is 20 or an 18 mm thick slab, and then when we are giving something which is like a paper thin material of 6 mm, the first thing comes in, टूट जाएगा ये तो क्या ये तो
handling is an issue.
Handling is an issue, something like this. So
handling marble is also an equal issue because that's a that's also very brittle. If the what do you say, fiber is not put properly, and if they are carted, only plus point of the marble is the healing is there,
Possible.
and here healing is not possible.
Correct. No, there are benefits and
Of course, there are pros and cons to
both the sides. So this is what I want to understand from you. Just to answer these questions, I'll being a layman, I'll ask you a couple of questions, and you tell me that how does it work. So the first question is simple, because that's very very simple, because this has come into the head of a lot of clients that ये टाइलों में bend होगा क्या? Because being 6 mm and this large, people, the first question is like, आपके टाइल में bend होता है क्या? How do you rebuttal that?
See, tile is baked. It's a clay. Every clay will have the bend. So when you are buying a tile, it's a known choice that there will be a bend. What level of tolerance that you have depends on what is your budget. If you go for Italian make, the bends will be less. Yeah. If you go for any Indian or Chinese or this kind of material, where the thickness is also more, and the quality, because it comes to you to that rate also. Yeah. This comes in a different rate, that comes in a different rate. Okay. Obviously, there is the rate difference. You get apple, which is Kashmiri also, and apple from Switzerland also. Okay. There is a difference. Yeah. Okay. So it is a known choice that there is going to be a band. If somebody tells you there is no band, it's a misguiding statement. Tiles, bands, there. Okay. Quality defines on which brand you buy it from. Okay. कितना आप कम बैंड ला सकते हो, कम कर सकते हो उसको, that depends on the brand you buy. Correct.
Another question that is very common to us, I think we faced it every day, is इसमें दाग रह जाएगा क्या? Porosity is what the correct term is, but the major thing is haldi ka daag, or they speak about anything spills on the floor, because it is not something that they're looking at our product and they're asking this because they're faced in their house that they're living in. कि जल्दी साफ करो, उसमें दाग बैठ जाएगा. This is very common. I've stayed in a house which was made of marble at one point in time. We had this issue at our house also कि अगर कुछ हो गया तो जल्दी से कपड़ा लेके आके पोछो, otherwise दाग अंदर बैठ जाएगा, and it is very difficult to clean, because when you're polishing also you're removing one layer on top and you're cleaning it, but whatever is gone inside the sponge, you can't remove it. So what is that you will say when a question comes कि इसके ऊपर दाग बैठ जाएगा क्या?
First of all, it is not a porous material. Yeah. It is glazed. It has a layer of coating on it, whatever make it is. So tile is not prone to any daag dhabba unless it is ceramic tile and matte tile finish. But even that also comes with coating. So tile and daag, that spots or seepage of that spots I don't think so. It can handle very well. There is no problem. In that case, marble, yes, certain marbles, they are porous. All marbles are porous, but the tolerance level of catching any kind of stains, even in quads you get stains at times, which is a stronger material equivalent to granite. Certain granites also, like Kashmiri white, they sip water. I mean, they suck water and they also get stained. So tiles, because it's an artificial material, it is man-made and it is made for that kind of a usage where it is supposed to take care of all these elements. Because it is designed to do that. It is nothing that nature has provided you and you have to work around it. It is somebody has already thought and worked around it. So it's no problem. You can go ahead and do it. It's like sitting in an aeroplane and thinking that pilot doesn't know to fly, but he's gone through a process of learning to fly this jet. Correct. Still, there are air crashes.
Yeah.
There are.
Correct.
Yeah. So accidents can happen. You would that one person would be unlucky who would have that kind of problem where it is getting stained, but that 99.99%
will not face
that.
Speaking about Patagonia, which is right behind us, and we were just discussing about it. So something like this that if you want to achieve, because it's got 3 different finishes on the surface, and something like this in nature has stopped producing something like this, and if it is still there, it goes at a very different price comparing to what it is. Recently I was with a client and he's mentioned something like this he was finding, because he was getting something which was yellow in color, or a little dirty in terms,
Yeah.
not that white, and then gemstone is not that other gemstone part is not there only on that part, and he's getting something like that for 8,000-9,000 rupees a square feet versus what we sell it at a very different price. So the material is available if you want to go for natural as well, but because of the natural resources which are going extinct, because satwario also, if you want to buy something now versus the satwario that you used to get at that point in time, it's very different.
That
Makrana
is why it is
marbles,
priced high, no?
yeah,
What I range I said, still we are putting 20 to 40,000 rupees a square feet Satwario.
correct,
People have that budget, they will put it.
correct,
It's a known choice.
yeah,
Period. Finito. It finishes there. If I want to put this, it's my known choice, even if I can afford Patagonia. I'm loving it because of the reason of its grains and the variations that I have. Even if I can afford 44,000, 10,000, 12,000 rupees a square feet, but I'm still buying something which is 15, 18, 2,000 rupees a square feet. It's a tile, it's a known choice. I like it. It all depends on the psychology person buying with. If I like it and I want to put it, nobody stops me. If I don't like it, even a Satwari of 40,000 rupees a square feet will not appeal me. If I don't like that lot. तो कॉपी तो हर जगह होता है. लैक्मे फैशन वीक का जो आता है वो इमीडिएटली चांदनी चौक में भी बन जाता है. अगेन यूजिंग एनीथिंग विच इज नेचुरल or next to natural gives you a level of confidence. If today we are wearing LV Juta, we know that it is real, you go with the full confidence.
yeah.
But with faking, it depends on how confidence you can carry it with.
That's always there, yeah.
So even that is not wrong. It's a right attitude. Attitude has to be correct. So choice of material is all about attitude. I can afford it, but I don't want to buy it.
Or if it is possible for me to do it, I don't wish to spend that kind of money on that particular thing.
It's
conscious
not about affordability. It's about application.
Yeah. Speaking about that, another thing is, I think I wanted to discuss this with you, but it is very important, and I think I missed one question in the last segment that we did. Now we've come to a correct part to ask that question. How do you train your team, and because you've learned it over the years, of using correct material at correct places?
So we always request our counterparts, that's your vendors, to first of all send the newsletters, what is newly available, and workshops over a period of time. Like with Hafley, with many other brands, we do a workshop in their premise, 2-3 hours, every 1 quarter, or innovations happens every 6 months, 4 months. So once or twice a year, that workshop should be conducted by every brand. Because what innovation is happening, we being face of the company or any brand, we are always invited. Not that they are not invited, but not everybody can go for all this. So one dedicated time which is between you and them, because we are face, but a face as a body, as organs which are hidden, which are more important than the face. One pimple here will not affect, but one pimple on my lung will definitely affect me. So that will create a kind of knowledge bank for the teams who are working on it. So they can also come back and say कि ये application वहाँ देखा था तो यहाँ हम apply कर सकते हैं.
Basically, education
Is required. Awareness, education, product awareness. Why they should implement this in their design. Even if they are also known. See, why we insist our vendors, and I mean many of them are doing it also, for the same reason that even one person of my studio, if he is asked one question, if he's just visiting a site, has got nothing to do with the product. If a client comes and asks and he finds that TMDS representative is here and asks some question, that person should be able to answer.
Nice.
So he should have that kind of knowledge.
Even if he's just going on a flying visit, he is representing me. He is me that point of time. He is my clone.
Correct.
So that person needs to understand, know, be aware. Out of the context, client is not going to ask about anything. Maybe he'll not ask anything, but if he asks something, everybody should be aware of that particular aspect कि ये यहाँ क्यों लगा है.
सही
हाँ.
agreed.
Coming to, I think, that point, I'll elaborate little more, that how you look at a brand or maybe any particular product as how do you differentiate basically between an experienced player and between a newcomer. So there are a lot of people who are working around a lot of brands. So some you must have dealt with a lot of experienced players in the market or experienced brands who has donkey years of experience and someone who's new and learning. How would you feel about them, or how do you differentiate about the both, or how would you like to go about it, which one you like or which one you will go with?
It's again attitude of a brand. That's most important. Why people, even we have pitched for the projects where we were new, but now we are kind of families to them. What made us excel above others was the attitude. A brand needs a face. Who is the face? After all, when the brand has invested so much into it, there must be R&D done, all that back end. But who is representing it is more important. That vibes. And believe me, every designer is a risk taker these days. Everybody wants newness. Everyone wants something better than other what you already have existence. So if even we plus 3 projects, if we don't cater something different to a client, we lose interest. Every time I visit you, I will always ask for what is new. Because almost everything is being used. So there is a craving of newness, and that is demand and supply. Like all our projects, if you see, just pick up 2 of them, you won't be able to relate. They are all different. Because there is a constant craving of newness. Naya kya hai batao? If you will not give it to me, I will go to someone else, somebody else will have it.
Yeah. So basically innovation or that newness, freshness within the brand is important, along with the term of course, experience, quality should be there, then you would go for that product. So that's, I think,
We are heading to a generation Gen Z who cannot sustain their interest in job for more than 2 months.
That's true.
Imagine the sustenance and interest in product. So that innovation also needs to be of that sort.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they are not sorted. They are more sorted than us. They exactly know what they want
What they want, yeah.
at their terms. If you can't give it, somebody else is ready to give it because they are talented. Not that they are like dumbs of the market and just moving around and they don't know anything. I've also seen that in this generation that they don't like to use jacks, like support system.
Support system nahi chahiye.
They would want to do it on their
own.
So with that kind of flamboyance and energy level that you have, how will you cater to it? They exactly know. One of the residences that we did, the son knew from the day one what he wants.
And he was very
And
clear.
his designs were closed in like 1 week's time. 3Ds were done. Everything was chosen. Not a single selection was changed.
So he was very
Gen
clear
Z.
with his path.
He just turned 18. Imagine in his head, he knew what he wanted. He wanted dark room, he wanted dark room. Finish. Grey is my color. Maybe after 2 years, pink will be his color. But at that particular time,
He knew what he wants.
And the space,
yeah.
he is very sure what he wants. When this sure people, they want choice. So it's a constant tug of war between what is existing and what is not, and what you can get new. So that is how we pick and choose our things also. If you can give it, again, you will say you're contradicting to your statement of the staying loyal to your vendors. Loyalty can only happen 2 ways. If you can cater to me, I can take it from you. If you are having the same old stuff, after 2-3 visits, I'll always find that okay, it's वही है
सब
जो
पता
है.
है मतलब.
And then more or less you also
Yeah.
know that there's no point visiting. because I
Majority
know.
of the showrooms I exactly know what is where.
Yeah.
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 That's
one round and I know what is there where. When a surprise element comes to me, अच्छा ये
ये
नया
नया
है.
है.
There it's and then it should be in stock. The main problem of the retail store or a display center is the हाँ ये लगाया हमने हमारे पास 4-5 पड़ा हुआ था तो हमने लगा दिया बट ये आउट ऑफ स्टॉक है या ऑर्डर करना पड़ेगा. ऑर्डर करना पड़ेगा तो लीड टाइम 3-4 महीना है. दैट डजंट वर्क. नोबडी हैज टाइम. Who has so much of time?
I think that's one of the thought process that was there behind Luxe Surfaces when we established this whole thing. That whatever is on display, we want to keep it in stock. We don't want to display and then stock it. We want to stock things
it and
first and then we want to display it, because I think flooring is something which goes first in the house and then you want to cover it up. And the second thing is, if you're not finalized on your flooring, and if I say it will come after 3 months, your whole process of selection goes little haywire. If you have that thing available, which can be delivered in next 2-3 days, 4 days, you're sorted on the major part of the house, and then your entire design theme can flow together. So this is one of the reasons that we've had one of the major points that we had in our mind was having stocks.
That is something, a plus point we are proud of.
Have you noticed that whenever you go to any like Mahindra holidays,
Yeah.
they'll ask you to sign in there and then they'll insist you. Why? Because when you just move out of that premise, your signing it off next day is chances are 0%. You might do it after a week's time. That's the retail policy. लोग घूमते हैं और आजकल सोशल मीडिया में सब अपना अपना पोस्ट डालते हैं. द सेम थिंग यू सी इन सिंपल एप्रल्स, यू विल सी इट इन 10 डिफरेंट स्निच पे इसके उसके ऊपर. सो if it's a multi store brand, you will see same thing in Aza also, same thing in any other also. So it all depends how are you selling it. Like somebody is else able to sell it more than the same thing on a more better price than you, because they have it in stock. It is available. It's a impulse. Many of things are impulse buy in a retail language.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think as a species, we've little run out of patience of waiting. I think that's the reason a lot of e-commerce websites has also come up with next day delivery, 3-day delivery.
Yes.
Now that we have half an hour delivery to we just experience this, right? No one wants to
With
wait.
Myntra, you know what people say, probably वो मेरे घर के नीचे ही खड़ा होगा. अभी कपड़े लेके 10 ऑर्डर करो 10 मिनट में आ जाता है, आधे घंटे में आ जाता है. So that is the kind of services that we are going to deal with. If you say मेरे को हाँ 3 हफ्ता 4 हफ्ता लगेगा, forget it, I don't want to buy this. I'll buy something else. वो ऐसा पैशन वाला किसी का रहा नहीं कि मुझे तो ये चाहिए तो ये चाहिए. If there is a choice available, people will move towards it.
Correct.
Time is very important factor. Nobody has it today. If I have to get my client here and ask him for another selection next time, he will say, you just get lost. I don't have so much of bandwidth, especially in city like Mumbai, where person has to travel from one end to another to do the selection, and that was not fruitful because your vendor didn't have it.
Yeah.
Correct.
When we also introduce our vendors to people, we obviously boost people and get them here.
Yeah.
That this is the right place, you'll get everything, whatever you want, what is our thought process. So, in a reverse way, in our studio, we ask for the stock. पहले बताओ कौन सा available है.
Correct.
We propose that only. So when we come here, we are aware that this is available, and if they put finger on something, boss, not available. So that awareness is also required.
Yeah.
So again, we become part of your business. We need to know your stock.
Correct.
What is there with you, and we can confidently sell it off. When designer is confident, vendor is confident, the deal has to happen. Why they have chosen us and why we have chosen you? It's a cycle.
Yeah.
If they could do the selection, we were not required. And if you could not give it to us, you are not required.
Coming to the question that I was asking you in terms of experienced and what Sharan Bhai just added here was experience versus was someone who's newbie. Speaking of that, I think we had a very close conversation on that as well. That how do you compare in the current industry where there are softwares where you can just plug in your thing and then a printout comes of the entire layout, or your design scheme is made over an app, and that's what people are walking into now, which is ChatGPT, Copy AI, a lot of softwares which do the text to image and So how do you what is that your take on the whole
Evolve.
thing?
That's the only thing. When we used to do hand drafting, then AutoCAD came in. Then a lot of other softwares came in. So you have to evolve, you have to learn. But yes, going to the first segment, emotion, where will you get it from? You still need ChatGPT, you need to put proper format. Still, human mind is required. The day human mind is not required, we all will be aliens. There'll be babies. I just saw a video of a for silicon baby. Looks exactly like baby, but where is the emotion? So what they will do is with AI, they will put like you can with the remote control, you can make baby cry, maybe laugh. All of that will come. We are heading towards it, but it's still time. Another 15 years. By the time, probably we all must be retired. Don't think too much about it right now. It's still on a. It's scary also. At the same point of time, do we have choice not to adopt with it? We have to get adopted. We have to adopt this technology that is coming our way. And it's nothing bad in if AI is going to give you 15, 16, 20, 2000 layouts at one go. Still, you will have to pick and choose one, no?
Yeah. Still, the human.
Still, human intervention is required. It will make still things. Now, imagine in our design studio nowadays make designs in 3 days, working drawings in 4 days, 10th day work starts.
Yeah.
You're imagining AI can only patch up images from here and there and make a representation of it. Working drawings are still required. If we have adopted that 10 days schedule for commercial project, it will reduce to 5 days. It is not going to reduce to 5 minutes. Whatsoever, howsoever it is. There will be agreements and disagreements. There will be a conversation.
Yeah.
Not a computer to computer deal नहीं होने वाला है. A robot is not going to deal with a robot. Robot is actually going to do the work.
True.
Employment might get affected, but the thought process can never be affected. It is going to be there. It was there. Still we are talking today. Still we are making a podcast. It could have been just AI speaking. A clone can sit here and do it. But what's the fun of doing that? Unless until I make so much of money and sit in Bahamas and my clone is sitting here, it's a different thing. That human nature of being noticed, being known, that fame, that everything is going to be there. That is never going to die. That interest in things. If you are not doing this, you are doing something. Otherwise, your existence makes no point.
Yeah. Those you're not living.
You're not living.
Yeah.
I think somewhere or the other, I think every design studio has slowly adapted using AIs in some or the other way, or the applications, even from a simple thing of removing a background to simple things of utilizing things. If you want to use something, search something on Pinterest. I think that's also something, because it will give you a filtered thing what you've already liked. So somewhere or the other, we are already there. It's just that we have to incorporate it in a way. I think a generation that we are in is someone who's seen I think from a normal landline to a pager to a Garuda phone, which is like that big one with a big antenna, and now we have moved to phones which are like I mean it's something which is as compact as when the watch can become a phone now. That's what we are at. So I think we have also adapted over a
You
period
have two
of time.
daughters, ask them whether they even know that kind of Nokia existed.
Correct.
Yeah.
It'll be a forgotten story.
I agree.
But at least I feel our generation, we have seen that evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That complete renaissance that happened, that complete progression of human race from undergrounds to now we are heading towards Worli ceiling, uske baad now coastal road.
Coastal roads.
This city like flyovers I have seen made in front of me. So we have actually witnessed. We should be the last people to even complain about anything. We have seen evolution and we are living in those all ages. We have experienced that also, we are experiencing this also, we have seen COVID also. We have seen almost everything that can happen on this earth.
And we are the most adaptive
And we,
generation.
in fact, we are even envisaging when we are talking of this topic of AI that what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know the future also. In another 10, 20 years, that AI is going to be at one level. But imagine for running those AI servers, how much level of water you require. ChatGPT requires lakhs of tons of water every day.
Yeah.
So when it will come to that, even that will be stopped somewhere because nature will not support. Nature is going to evolve. It is going to change itself. We will have to bend ourselves. We are bending ourselves. We will bend ourselves. तो एक लेवल पे जाके इफ यू सी इन द बिफोर द डायनासोर दे से दैट डायनासोर एज के पहले भी ह्यूमंस तो थे, but then they left the planet because planet was not good to survive. Then again it came back, then it was again restored, but they started living simple life. Now again it's a circle which is completing. We are again going there, and again we'll all settle down that this is whatever we did was not correct, and now the simplicity was the answer to all the questions. Not craving for extravaganza, but right now it's the race. We are in that age, we are in that lifespan where we are supposed to live that life. So live that life. जब आएगा तब देखेंगे. We'll cross the bridge when it comes to.
That's the
अभी से क्यों सोचना है इतना?
that's the right.
But evolve. We will have to evolve. We'll have to adapt. You will not do it. Somebody else will do it.
Yeah. Otherwise,
It's
we'll
about
be,
simple law of deals also.
We'll be left behind the race otherwise.
Yeah.
If you don't.
That is again known choice whether you want to be left behind the race or not. At times you really want to. Certain races you don't want
You
to
don't
run.
want to run.
Yeah, I think that's you wanna pick up your battles, you know. You don't want to get into every
Both
battle.
the worlds will exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There will be people who will not adopt AI.
Yeah.
But still they will have work. They will like-minded people will be existing who don't want to go for AI.
Correct.
Yeah.
तो हर एक के लिए there is कोई ना कोई किसी ना किसी लिए बनाया ही हुआ है.
We are moving to a segment which is called I think it's more of a quirky question round than a rapid fire round.
Quirky. I'm scared now. What do I get? Because it so much sounds like Karan Johar's rapid fire. At least you get something.
Yeah, definitely there is a hamper.
There's a hamper
going
that
to come.
you will have.
At least I'm lucky. I'm the only one person. Whether I answer or not, I'm going to win.
You're still winning. It's okay.
I'm still winning.
But this thing is designed in a way where the questions are more to your design inspirations, and we will have a clear picture of what you are in terms of an individual when it comes to designing.
I think it's a time check for me also whether I know myself better.
Okay, cool. So we'll start off with something that I already know. But if your design studio had a theme song, what would it be?
So we have a travel anthem.
Okay, and
You are someone. So there is a song from Gangubai,
Okay.
Shikayat.
yeah.
So we went for a office trip.
Yeah.
We have taken for offset the entire team. After every 2 songs, we used to play that song, and it became kind of an anthem. So once a day or twice a day, it is played in the studio like an anthem, and we give utter respect.
I think Shikayat is the song that needs to be played. Okay, if your job title were a superhero name, your job title was a superhero name, what would it be?
Superman.
Yeah. Okay. And
I really love to fly.
okay, if your designs were a season, what would the season be?
Monsoon.
Okay.
I love that season.
Yeah.
That's the only pleasant season in Mumbai.
I agree.
But I still love monsoon because it's all green. It's the smell of the mud is so good that point of time. And it is a mix of not healthy and healthy season. But yeah, the whole belt of Konkan is so beautiful, and sky is so clear. All pollution is settled down. You water itself, it's like you touch it and you feel so good about it.
All right. Now, if your designs were a travel destination, what would your design be?
What would my design be? A travel destination?
Yeah.
Again, it's a very versatile question
Still,
for me.
still.
But if in my solace that
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
want this kind of, then I'd really love France for that.
All right. Okay. Nice. Another one. If your designs were a ice cream flavor.
Chocolate. Unbeatable.
Okay. That was fast. Okay. What's the weirdest source of inspiration that you've drawn from for a project?
So recently, we were designing an elevation for a building, which was inspired by one of my shirts, which has like strokes of crimson, red, and blue.
That is still okay, sir. We
Electric
want
blue.
weird.
That is weird only, ना?
नहीं
I mean, कौन अपने शर्ट को
this
देख
is
के
very recent.
एलिवेशन डिजाइन करता
Very
है?
recent for you. You would have remembered it now. ऐसा कुछ और.
Not that I can think of. I mean, I have very fish memory. I don't remember all of that. things.
Okay, but ठीक है. Answer taken.
The most unexpected challenge that you have faced in the world of design. Controversial, yeah, sir.
Learning and unlearning of the same process, because you tend to do something which you feel right, and then you again not do it next time because you feel it is wrong. So that switch on, switch off is very difficult.
Okay.
It's still, we are struggling with it.
Yeah.
It's an endless process.
One advice that you would love to give to your fellow designers and architects from your side, which is
This is controversial. Quite controversial. I think let us all come to a platform of deciding on payment terms.
Okay.
Okay.
Because obviously there is someone to take up a job if you are not taking it because of payment terms.
Okay.
Fees you can decide according to your stretcher, your liabilities and the structure you want. But there should be one profound way of that this is how the payment term should be of the design fees, so that nobody loses. If I come to you, it is same. I come to him, it is same.
Okay.
It's not a retail market, it's a design fees. The consultants' fees, I mean lawyers, it's about every professional, I would say, that formalization of deliveries of against delivery design fees should be, structure should be decided.
Okay.
One platform.
Your dream collaboration that you want to do in the design fraternity, living or dead is fine, but your dream collaboration, you want to collaborate someone in the design fraternity and you want to, or the architectural fraternity.
I just missed the bus, Zaid.
Okay.
She's not there.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else I can think of to collaborate.
All right.
Okay.
And if you want to collaborate in terms of designing with a actor or a musician and an artist which is outside design fraternity.
Of course, unbeatable Ranveer Singh. So versatile, so flamboyant, so easy to work with probably because he's equally mad.
Now this is again one more controversial question. I don't know if
This exactly feels me like coffee with Karan now.
if you want to redesign a famous landmark, an iconic building which is there from ages, if you want to redesign, what will you choose?
I would like to redesign the entire city of Paris.
Okay.
Especially the Champs-Élysées, which is the main road of it, because architects wanted it to be seen completely and clearly. There is not a single tree left there.
Okay.
I would want to plant trees across that whole city. Otherwise, planning, everything is very beautiful, but the whole street, the whole avenue, that particular main downtown city doesn't have a single tree around it because architects never wanted it.
He got saved from controversy.
Save trees, get saved from controversies.
Cool. Another one is I don't know. It's more of creative question. When do you design things more? Are you a morning person or a night person?
In all respects, I'm a night person. So at times it happens with me that if I'm stuck or something, or I'm overexcited about a design, I don't get sleep. I get like frames and flashes in my mind, and I till in the whole night, the entire picture, the entire 3D is ready in my mind, and that is put into papers next day. So I don't have that kind of a fish memory when it comes to design, but certain things I don't remember. I'm born with very less terabytes. What is important, I keep it. Rest everything, I leave it. Especially all negative.
Speaking about positivity, that you just touched that topic. What is that you do? Because see, every person who's creative needs to go into that calm zone, because I think chaos can bring out a lot of things, but after a point, you need to go into that calm zone.
I think that whole idea is bakwas. Going
Okay.
into meditation, going to forest, think about it.
Okay.
Thinking or creativity is not achieved, it's a process, it is inbuilt.
Okay.
You can just sit on a commode and also think.
Okay.
Or you, while conversating also, you come across some idea. So you don't need that kind of space per se.
Okay.
The space is within.
Okay.
As I said, in the night dream, I get dreams of design. So that's an endless process. You really don't have to go somewhere. It's like even to achieve sannyas, you don't have to take sannyas. It's a thing that it's a practice. It's not a process.
Yeah.
So I feel there is nothing that you need to go travel somewhere and think on the sitting on the banks of the river, meditate, and something will come to you. You're not writing Vedas.
Nice.
It is either there with you or it is not there with you.
Okay.
Like parenting, I'm not married, neither I have kids. But if you say someone that you have to go and do a course for parenting, does it work? It doesn't.
I wish there was.
There was, but there is
two
no
daughters
such
now.
process.
I'm yet to get married.
So design is as good as parenting. Every day you come across something which is new, exciting, depressing, irritating. So that's a process. You don't have to go anywhere. You live with it. It is within you. You are there.
Another question. If you were not a designer or an architect, what would your profession be?
Chef.
Really?
Wow.
Okay.
It's equally creative. And I think it's more sufficing. And think that you can experiment on yourself.
Yeah.
You don't need a guinea pig.
Do you cook?
I cook.
Your favorite dish that you cook?
Fish, any seafood.
Yeah. All right.
Interesting.
I'm good at reds, not greens. But not I'm bad at it. But I'm very proud that I can make pulkas.
Okay.
That's one thing that people don't know.
I'll tag it as Tushar Mistry can make pulkas. Podcast ka editing hoga.
And really like the fluffy
ones.
And the fluffy ones.
So I have,
Designer rotis.
so I have lived with friends who could cook.
Yeah.
And even many family members of mine also can cook. But one thing that I learned from my mother to make fulkas for the reason that one who makes rotis wins all the compliments because that's the most difficult task, right from doing to baking. All right.
Okay. Now this is also something which is nice. If designers are sitting together and they decide to play a board game, what would the board game be? हो सकता है एपिसोड सीजन के एंड में मेरे को रखना पड़े.
A board game.
Yeah.
Ludo.
Really? Okay. What? Only 4 people can play.
We can innovate Ludo of 8 people.
Ludo tournament.
We will do it.
I think yeah, Monopoly would have been really bad. People would have killed each other.
सांप सीढ़ी.
हाँ रूम से बाहर निकलते निकलते कोई राइवलरी नहीं चालू हो जाएगा. Okay. Describe your ideal workspace in 3 words.
Ideal workspace.
Correct.
In 3 words.
Yeah.
Monotonous.
Okay.
Full of music.
Okay.
And my favorite team. You require only 3 things. That's my studio. It's monotonous in color. It's full-time music.
Yeah.
We play kawali to whatnot.
Okay, everything. Yeah?
Everything.
Yeah.
मतलब एकदम छपरी songs भी बजते हैं. You visit our studio between 6 to 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll find all nonsense music. Some Bhojpuri Gana will also be played. But that's the time they really need to pep up.
Yeah.
Probably that's the reason it is being played. And no apology for that.
I remember you mentioning someone came from the other side of the on the floor and saying that what kind of office it is? The event का office है क्या? कुछ होता है क्या यहाँ पे?
And especially that point of time, people are leaving offices. They listen to this. तो बोला यहाँ क्या चलता है? कभी मातम के सॉन्ग बजते हैं. कभी कुछ बचता है, मतलब हम लोग बचते रहते हैं.
I think we should also adapt
Yeah.
6 to 7 culture.
We like buzz, we like noise. So noise should be in the space. The space is not noisy, but there is a noise in the space.
What you want to do in life that you have not done as of now? One thing that you want to achieve that is still unachieved. It could be a profession, it could be art, it could be a book, it could be anything that you feel.
It could be very simple thing also. It has to be something really.
No. Whatever you feel like.
Sleep early and wake up early. These are two things that I want to do but never happens.
Okay.
Same here.
I mean, when you wake up early, at times I have woken up early and your day is so productive.
I agree.
If you wake up at 7, you start your day by 8. By 10, you get so much of time to yourself.
Yeah.
So that after 10, there is a lot of buzz. Every client starts calling, client people start calling, there are problems. What you get to do in that much of time, from 8 to 10, your own work. Like accounts hai, kuch bhi hai, you want to see even a YouTube video of someone, some catalogs have come, you have to do self-study.
Basically the me time.
8 to 10 is the time.
Yeah.
After 10, you don't get. And then in the night when you sleep, you have to have 8 hours sleep any which ways. So I do take it, but then I sleep at 2. So imagine I wake up what time and I go to studio what time. So that is some discipline that I would want to have, but
Okay.
I've never achieved till date.
All
I think many people need.
Yeah, I know this will be like an inspirational
Yeah.
quote.
Yeah, I'm inspired by this guy Akshay Kumar. He does it.
Yeah.
He's
I
been
think
doing
many
it
of
for a
many of
very long
veteran
time.
actors these days they do it because they don't want to be in the buzz. They don't want to go, but they have done it. They were also flamboyant and partying in that point of time. They've reached that level where they can afford that. I can afford that, but I'm not disciplined.
All right.
That's true.
Last question is your dream car that you want to have. That's it.
Dream car. My dream of cars changes over the innovations.
What is
that
the
happens.
current trend that you have?
G-Wagon
All right. Okay.
or Defender. There are two on the list. But by the time I reach there where I can buy it,
There will be
something else
something
is
else.
going to come. Either EV or Hyperloop.
I agree.
When Hyperloop comes, you don't need cars then.
Yeah.
Then I think, sir,
That's the end of the rapid
I
fire.
think you've answered the questions very nicely.
I win so
That's for you.
proudly.
So
I
proud.
win this.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. It's
So
like
happy.
an Oscar to me. Thank you very much.
It's a nice chocolate
guys.
box. After podcast, we all will sit and eat.
Yes. Did I tell you I don't share my chocolates?
Another headline. Tushar Mistry doesn't share his chocolates.
Actually, leaving all of these chocolates, where is one chocolate that I would even snatch from a kid's hand and eat? Is 5-star.
Okay.
मंगाओ यार 5 स्टार क्या कर रहे हो
I can't resist that.
Yeah.
Even a small kid is मेरे मुंह में पानी आएगा. It's so, I mean,
You love that chocolate.
I have some orgasm about it. That particular 5-star chocolate.
Yeah.
I mean, मैं अगर कहीं पे गया मेडिकल में भी गया ना तो I would buy one and grab it and finish it there. Like nobody comes in between me and my 5-star. I don't share it also. This I will share it with you.
So, how you see Luxe Surfaces as a brand from your eyes?
A brand which is promised to cater. I mean, it has that attitude when I spoke of it. Not because we are doing this podcast with you. I mean, we share that relationship much before that. But I see that promising battalion that is going to support us or any of the designers who wants to work with you. So that attitude is there and that is what counts for me.
So basically, for you, the right kind of attitude with the people.
Not that these products are not available with someone else.
So
Why
it's-
will I
it's
come
about
to
the
Luxe?
Product. It's not the
It's about
product, it's the
people. It's about the people. It's always about the people. It's always about whom you are working with. Are they in their mind correct people? Will they cater you at times when you want? Will they support you in the delivery schedules? Will they go out of the way and do things for you? Will you be able to do out of the way? You want, as an individual, I would want to go out of the way and do things for you.
Yeah.
That is also a question.
Yeah.
You will support me. Will I be able to reciprocate with you? That liking has to be established between two people. I think that is there, and you guys are out in market with correct attitude. You are here not to make your mark. हम ये कर देंगे वो कर देंगे. You are here to do business.
Yeah.
You're not loudly talking and shouting and howling about it. that हमारे से तो अच्छा कोई है नहीं. हम जो देंगे वो कोई दे नहीं सकता. All of that is not there. I see that peace, that rest in your mind. That okay, we are there. We are here to do business. We'll do good business, and that's the correct attitude. And that's what I see your future.
How you see the display center? What was the difference between this display center and other competitors, or you have also traveled the world around? How it defines Luxe as this display center versus others in the same fraternity, or even in other interior products like maybe a furniture or maybe some lighting guy who's opening a display center? How do you look at us in that terms?
So my first impression was the space. You have given enough of room for your product to be appreciated. That was, I think, when I complimented you for that. That at a distance I can see, because these are the slabs which are big size slabs.
Yeah.
And they needs to be seen from a distance. From near it is very intimidating. But the real beauty, that eight stroke paintings, 2-stroke paintings, that depth can only happen only when you see at a distance. You have not filled it up like a grocery shop.
Yeah.
You have kept it like a jewelry shop. That's the comparison between rest of them. That they wanted to fit. First of all, premises is big.
Yeah.
It has sense of अच्छा यहाँ पे भी space है, अच्छा वहाँ पे भी space है. So whosoever has created this space have kept that sense of suspense.
Yeah.
It is not throughout like just gone in and it is there. Everything you can just over glance and go. There are pockets which are designed for that. There is something here, there is something there. So it sustains your interest of a walk of at least 7 to 8 minutes that you will do. If you don't even select something, just move around.
Yeah.
So that is the, win of a design, where you have tried to create that and you have achieved it.
Credit to Manish Dixit, sir.
Yeah. Credit to Manish, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for the same. So that was the whole ideology of our brand, was to showcase only surfaces and not doing any kind of khichdi, and to showcase what we have the strength of at a larger sense, with displaying with such a big display center, and to give a idea to each individual, not only to the architect, because architect can see one particular small piece also and design it, visualize it,
Yeah.
and think of it where it can be used.
Yeah.
But for the end customer, I
Agreed.
feel how it will look, having different applications was our main motive, and not to cluster too much, like how you said, it's not grocery store. So that was the whole intention of bringing such a big display center in the town, and having good products was a backing, like how you have your team as your core. That is the way we have our brand as our core, which supports us with good product, with good quality, and to cater to the market.
So I think the furniture that we are sitting on is page 2813. So I visited the lounge in Aztec.
Yeah.
So that's where I saw a few eccentric placements of the lights and everything.
Yeah.
So I asked Ekant that why you have used plain, this could be a better rug, this, that, because he also designs rugs and all. So he said, my focus was furniture.
Yeah.
If you could not see anything other than furniture, that is my win. So that's what you have also done in a way.
Yeah.
That you have not complicated it with a lot of accessorizing, lot of furniture around, lot of things which people can deviate, because you are not selling it.
Yeah.
You're promoting it. So there are corners where you have placed them.
Yeah.
Probably you will be selling also, but actual core interest of yours, is what your product you are selling in Luxe surfaces. It's surfaces. And surfaces are very well taken care of. You need peripherals to support. You need this kind of setup for people to sit, talk. But that is meant for that. That is not taking away from the whole experience of it. It is not there in the main lounge area where you actually have this, your display center. So it is not complicated. It is easily approachable. You can see it one by one. You can change it because even I see the stacks that are being designed are very easily changeable. So modularity is taken care of. So overall, see, these are small details. A local person will not, or just a general person will not be able to understand. But these have been taken care of. And whosoever have designed is done really well.
Credit
Manish
to Ekant
sir.
Credit to Ekant sir. Credit to Manish sir. Ekant sir, thank you so
Ekant
much for the
sir.
furniture.
Ekant sir for this beautiful, lovely furniture. I think. So thank you again, once again for
Thank you so much, Tushar sir.
joining us.
Yeah.
It was lovely. And I hope you guys enjoyed.
I think we have always had conversations like these, and we were just discussing behind the camera. But it is always lovely
We
because
should
I've
just
told
put
us-
cameras otherwise. And whenever we meet for some selections or something, record that's only a podcast.
No, it's always
I
positive.
think it was
meeting you.
quite ease and quite, I mean, it then felt like we are in the camera. It is a normal conversation. It was good. Great. Good job.
Thank you
boys.
so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
I loved it.
Thank you, sir.